Hello and welcome. My name's Sissy and I'm Timothy's widow. Today I want to take a look at planners. I know as a grieving spouse it's very easy to lose touch with reality, I guess is a good way to say it. Grief is a very overwhelming journey. It's complex, it's challenging. The physical and emotional demands on our body just really can play havoc with our life, our daily routines, our schedules, keeping up with things. And if you haven't used a planner or some type of a planning system, now might be the time to consider whether you would like to implement that to help you navigate each day as thoroughly as possible. So today we're going to be looking at the Freedom Mastery Law of Attraction planners. And I have several. I've been using them for several years, even prior to my husband passing away. And I do have a couple. I thought I'd go ahead and take a look, an overview with you on those, introduce them to you and see what you think. So first of all, you might be saying, well, what is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is a concept that suggests that like attracts like. It suggests that thoughts and intentions can influence the outcomes or experiences that one attracts into their life. The law of attraction is often associated with the idea that positive or negative thoughts and emotions can bring about corresponding positive or negative experiences. The concept of the law of attraction really gained significant popularity in the early 2000s with the release of books like The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I hope I'm saying that right. This book and many others like it propose that individuals can attract their desired outcomes, whether they be success, wealth, health, or relationships, by focusing on positive thoughts, visualization, and maintaining a strong belief that these outcomes are already on their way. The law of attraction is sometimes criticized for oversimplifying complex life circumstances and for not taking into account external factors, systemic inequalities, and the role of effort and action in achieving goals. Some people find value in its principles as a way to foster a positive mindset and motivation, while others view it with skepticism. Ultimately, the law of attraction is a metaphysical belief, and its effectiveness and applicability can vary greatly depending on individual perspectives and experiences. Now, whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, I really wanted to share these planners with you today because I really have enjoyed them in the past. I think they're beautiful, they're beautifully designed, and maybe after taking a look at them, you may find that they would serve you well as you navigate your own grief journey. So before we get going, I just want to let you know that no, Freedom Mastery is not sponsoring this video. I'm simply sharing the planners that I have been using and the ones that I will be setting up to use in the future. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, I can't get audio when I'm recording video. So we're going to have to just settle with the pictures for today's video, and then I'm doing the audio as a separate track. I wish I could change that because I think it's better to see them in video, but I tried. So here's a quick look at the planners that I already have. So there is, down on the bottom left, I guess you would call it a cream colored one, light dusty pink. I know that picture. Actually, I believe we would call that one more a rose gold type. The purple one to the right is the very first one that I ever had. That rose gold pink one is the second one. And then I also had two new ones that I think I ordered them before hubby passed away to start setting them up, but I'm just not sure. So there is another one that's slightly cream colored. Then there's a I guess it's black. Let me look here real quick. Looks like it's possibly black. I didn't even unwrap it. It's still sealed. Because obviously, you know, when you lose your husband, everything just kind of falls apart. So this is just a quick look at what I have. So next, let's talk a little bit about what comes inside the box along with the planner. But before we do that, I really need to remind you, stay hydrated. My thermometer on the computer currently says 103. I did step outside for just a little. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely horrendous. So please remember to stay hydrated. Practice self-care tips that are in correspondence with heat if you are in an area where it is excessively hot out. So, okay, let's go ahead and look at what comes with the planner. So first of all, almost all of mine I have boxes to, which is the white box up in the upper corner picture that you can store your planner in. For some reason, I am one box short, so I don't know if I just never thought to keep it. Pretty sure it came with one, although I got to wondering about that because I do believe I had ordered one from Amazon and the rest from the actual Freedom Mastery website. So I don't know if the one just never came with a box, but anyhow. And the boxes are, I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, and I'm so sorry, but that noise is me clicking on it. They're pretty sturdy, and I'm clicking on it. They're pretty sturdy, and I've been storing two of mine in there for quite some time. So yeah, I think they're pretty useful. I actually like the idea of storing planners versus having mine in the bookshelf, but at another point sometime, if I get some time, I'll take you through all my other planning stuff. But not today's video. Okay, so I have the pile of goodies that come with your purchase, and I actually have, as you can see, 3 cards. Give this card to someone you love, and it is a coupon they're all for 10% off a purchase. Then the larger thank you for your purchase is a 15% off your next purchase coupon code. I don't know which planner these came out of, so they very well could be very expired, because I want to say the first planner that I bought from them was 2018. So yeah, I'm not sure which. And I'm looking at the pictures. I don't know that you can see this or not. I have calendar stickers, but they're 2020, 2021. So again, that just shows you how long ago whichever planner this came from, how that just shows you how long ago that was. So I'm going to set those aside. Then we also have okay, so in the middle picture on the bottom, you can see where it has a sticker. You can do it if you're doing a road trip, worry less, smile more, let's party, good vibes only, hello beautiful, I approve myself, happy thoughts, believe in yourself, I am blessed, and do awesome things. Now the stickers are very, very beautiful. There's a gold, almost like again, like that rosy gold on some of them, and of course the black, and it's just, they're shiny, they're very beautiful stickers. Now obviously some of it might not apply to us quite right away in Grief Journey, and you don't have to use stickers in your planners. I have followed a lot of different YouTube authors and planners throughout the years, and oh my goodness, some of them have tons of extras for inside their planners, and you don't have to do that. I mean, it's perfectly fine if you're just using a pen, a highlighter, and a pencil, whatever works for you. You don't have to. You don't have to go all out and excessive, but they are pretty. I think before I lost my husband, I probably would have considered using more stickers than what I'm thinking about getting back into now. In fact, I know I did use stickers, but you definitely don't have to. Um, then there is, let's see, there are 3 sheets of stickers, which they're just, basically color coded. But there is, I don't know, did I get a good picture? There's 3 sheets, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items per row, and they include a symbol for important call, a birthday, a star for appointment, shop, dinner, give back, spa, salon, read, grocery shop, idea, medicine and vitamins, eat healthy, pet, exercise, and meditation. And obviously in the grief journey, there are some things that, you might not want to use these stickers for, but some of them I think could be very, very handy to color code the dates that they would apply for. One way that I think would be the pet, if you have pets and they need to get to the vet, the little exercise reminder symbols, the meditation ones, medicine and vitamins, doctors, dentist, important calls. If you have the finances and can go to a spa, oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. If you're somebody who regularly gets your hair done, that would be a wonderful reminder. So, like I said, again, they're very lovely little stickers, but you don't have to feel as though you need to use them. And then the next sheet is one that says, I am grateful for, shopping list, important, books to read, victories, urgent, and to delegate. These I actually like, and these I think maybe would be more important during the grief journey. Obviously, the important sticker, it's black with 2 gold stars. You can see it on the 3rd picture on the bottom. It's to the bookmark with the ribbon. So obviously there are a lot of important things that we need to remember, and using a planner I think is a good idea just because it helps battle what they call the widow's brain fog or the zombie brain. So that's one of the reasons why I'm getting back into a planner now, because yeah, I've pretty much just had it with this fly by the seat of your pants method. And it's time to take control back of my life. So yeah, that's why I was like, okay, what planners do I have? What do I have? Okay, what planners do I have? What do I have to work with? And then I got to thinking, hey, let me share it with you. There's a couple stickers for idea. That could be potential things for in the future that you might want to consider. To delegate, if there's anything that you have trustworthy people that you might want to delegate. And this could be things like donating things from your spouse. Is there anything that you need to sell? Is there anything that you need to go through, but you would like to have somebody sit with you? You could use the to delegate for that. The shopping list, the green stickers, could just basically be your around the house necessities, toiletries, groceries. Books to read, there's only a couple of those, but if you're reading grief books or something inspirational, you could use that. Urgent would be anything that you definitely don't want to miss, you need to take care of. The I am grateful for, you could use that one. If you're just kind of doing some self-reflection or meditation. My victories, I think getting through every day is a victory for grieving spouses. So, in my opinion, I'd like to see one of those for every day of the year, because every day that we get through, no matter how poorly we get through, no matter how bad we look, as long as we got through that day, that is a victory for every spouse out there. So that's the sticker sheet. Then there is a card, which it's kind of in there somewhere. I don't know if I can. I don't have a good picture of it, but it basically says that you get two free gifts if you give your opinion and do a survey. I don't know if I can do surveys again, because I have purchased. I know I have done. I know I have done the survey before. So I don't know if I would actually be eligible to do that. But you can do the survey, and it's signed from Frederick Tallowan. I hope I'm saying that right. And I believe he's the one planner. And he says on this card that he wants to personally thank you for taking this journey with me. I know this planner is going to be an absolute game changer for you. Follow your bliss. And basically the survey says he wants to understand better how I can serve you. Your answers will guide me to create exactly the planner, tools, guides, and resources that you are looking for. So that's on the one side. Then on the other side, it's like, please leave a product review. Okay. Now, I don't know then if this card comes with them, if you order it from the Freedom Mastery website, or if it's just when you order it from Amazon. But, that could be the case. Obviously, I have gotten from both places. So there's that card. Now, the lovely bookmark. Oh my gosh, with the ribbons. Okay, this one is very pretty black, and it came out of the rose gold one. Okay, it is very beautiful. I will tell you, do not leave it in a place where your cat can, because I had one from inside my purple planner, and my cat got a hold of it and chewed on the corners, chewed on the ribbons, and I have one that has little kitty cat teeth marks all over it. So yeah, definitely don't put it anywhere where your pet or a small child could get a hold of it. But I love it. I actually keep this one on my desk in one of my what do you call it, pen and note keeper thingies. I don't know. I'll have to take a picture and show you. But it says at the top, imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Albert Einstein. And I know as a grieving spouse right now, it's hard to think that there's going to be coming attractions that you're going to look forward to. I definitely know in the first year, in my first year, I was just like, okay, fine, the all of the good in life is what I had, and it's all over now. And I had a very negative attitude towards anything in the future, but I have come to realize that there are going to be good things coming for us. Yeah, I don't know how a better way to explain it other than there will be changes coming. It might take a while to get there for you. You might get there quicker than I have, but there are coming attractions that are going to be going to be things that bring us joy and happiness. So you might not see it now, but it will be coming. Then there is a 10-minute morning manifestation routine, and manifestation can get kind of a bad connotation about it, simply because a lot of people think it's kind of like woohoo, and that they believe that a lot of people who use this and think this, people who use this and think this, have unrealistic goals. Like, you'll wake up tomorrow morning and there will mysteriously be $10,000 in your checking account. Or you'll wake up tomorrow morning and you'll have lost the 50 pounds overnight lose. Or, really unrealistic expectations. We have to go into this, especially the grieving spouse, we have to go into it knowing that life is not perfect. It never will be perfect. It never will be perfect. But how can we use these things to help inspire our mindset? How can we use these things to get our cognitive processes working against the fog and the denial and the early grief stages when we're purely not functioning at our best? How can we use these things to our advantage to help bring us from the bottom and help slowly work us up? You could say bring us up the ladder, or bring us out of the complete darkness back into the light and the living, however you want to phrase that. So we have to keep that in mind. And obviously with these planners, as we go through them, you'll see you don't have to use any of the law of attraction or manifestation portions. Okay. The planners themselves, with how the calendars and the months are divided up, it's beautiful. I really like the format. So, if you're somebody who thinks this is just like too much woohoo, you don't have to use any of it at all. But the manifestation routine really is just taking a moment to center and ground yourself. So it's giving you a guide for breathing, taking time to just think and be grateful for all the small things in your life. Remember that the most living moments in your life, visualizing and seeing yourself from your own eyes, living your dream life for 1 to 2 minutes, ending with making the intention to create a great day and see the day unfolding in a positive way. So here you want to be, here comes something that we would want to be cautious for. Our dream life, okay, yeah, we would love to have our spouses back. That's, there's no question about that. So I would say on this portion, you just want to keep in mind that we need to have that acceptance out of the 5 stages of grief. So, I would say it could be dangerous to see yourself living your dream life for 1 to 2 minutes every day. Living your dream life for 1 to 2 minutes every day. Okay, if you're able to meditate and manifest and do this portion every day, I think that could be dangerous if you allow yourself to go back in time, because you could be up for repeating consistently on a daily basis, what happened maybe the last days, and you may find yourself allowing that, portion and questioning of, hey, what could I have done differently? I should have done this. I should have done that. So in other words, you could be allowing that to stay in your subconscious and adding to any guilt that you might be feeling. And that's not the intention or the purpose that you would want to use that for. You want to say, okay, You want to say, okay, 2 years from now, my dream life may simply be that I don't wake up and cry every day, and that I am functioning more like a human being, and I am leaving my house easier to go get groceries and other things that I need to do on a daily basis. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. Um, Decide to focus today on appreciation in place of expectation. So, appreciation, obviously, be appreciative for those people who have stood up to support you. Be appreciative of anybody who's taken time to sit with you, to talk with you, just to be there for you, no matter how small or short that time frame was. If they've given you a small gift, a small card, had passed away. So be appreciative for those little things, okay? Expectations, sure, we would love, we would all love to be able to get up out of bed tomorrow morning and just have a 100% normal life like everybody else that hasn't lost a spouse. Something that's going to happen, but just I really think just trying to focus on appreciation that is a good thing. And number 7, give help and love somebody today without expecting anything back. And I think that's just a wonderful thing for any human being. To keep in mind. So those are just a few things at the top of the card. Then tracking your progress, awareness and self-discovery. You can make yourself a mission and vision statement. You can set big goals. It is perfectly fine to set big goals. Create a vision board and a life statement. Make a clear strategy. Have daily, weekly action plans. Focus on feeling good daily. Reflect and celebrate. Every day that we get through, no matter how shitty of a job we've done, something to celebrate. So keep that in mind. Okay. There is nothing out there that says that we need to come through the day looking and acting like, I don't know, some glamorous movie star or something like that. That again, especially in the earlier stages of grief, that would definitely be a very unrealistic expectation. So, you make it through the day, your pajamas, and you didn't brush your teeth, and all you did was sit on the couch, have a cup of coffee, you fed your cat or your dog, and you remembered to drink a little bit of water and eat a little bit of food during the day. That is a victory. That is something to celebrate. Okay. Because I know how hard the grief journey is. I know how hard it is in the beginning, and at any little moments like that, those are cause for celebration, and we should be encouraged by every day. We should be encouraged by every day. That we're able to do that. I don't care if you've been in the same pajamas for, 2-3 days in a row. I don't care. You made it through the day. That's a victory for you. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at what comes with the planner, and we've looked at the covers of several of mine, let's go ahead and open it up. And I've taken a picture of the very first page when you open it up, and there is a page in there from Gandhi. And the first one is, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. And as a grieving spouse, I think we can look at that as, okay, we need to keep as many of our thoughts positive as you can, because we all know that when we're getting frustrated or angry, sometimes we can let words come out that are not necessarily positive to whoever they're being directed at. So it's just a way to kind of keep ourselves grounded a little bit. And you can look at the beginning every day. You don't have to look at it all at all. It's whatever. It's however you choose to use the planner. Okay, so just keep that in mind as I go through some of the sections. You use this planner however it's going to work best for you. Okay, so then we flip the page, and this one has a copyright date of 2016, which is on the left page, which you can't really see. But then the next page has a couple of sections in it. And again, like I said, you don't have to use these. I'm just going over them. We have a full look at everything. So, my life statement, how I would love my life to be. I can definitely see if you're a grieving spouse and you're definitely feeling like it's okay to journal and you are journaling, how these sections can help you out. I don't know what got set on top of mine. I don't know, but I can see something got my pages. You can see right where it says my vision statement, how I want to contribute to this world. Yeah, so I don't know. Something got up against the pages of this one. I'm not sure what, but yeah. And then this planner belongs to, and then your name, your phone, your email, and your Facebook. And then if you find this planner, please contact me. My planners would not normally leave my house unless I'm going for some kind of appointment that I need the information in them. My purple and my rose gold one traveled with me by airplane back to my parents, stayed there, but they both, no, just the pink one did. I take that back, the rose gold. I left the purple one here, and I did not store it even with my normal home office setup. But the rose gold one traveled with me. It's made several airplane flights now, and it always stayed with me on carry-on. So, in other words, I had a lot of information regarding my husband and accounts and things like that, and I did not want it out of my sight ever. So, that's up to you. Some people carry their planners back and forth. That's definitely up to you. I know some people will keep one that travels outside of the home, and they keep one that is more information sensitive at home. So they run two planners side by side during the year. That's, it's whatever is going to work for you. I love the feel of the paper, the thickness of it. It's not glossy. I would say it's more like a matte. I love the feel of the paper. And like I said, most of my pens don't bleed through on it. So I love these planners. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, then when you go to the next page, it's a planner index and pages, and then notes, theme, or subject. For the grieving spouses, especially in the early journey, I would say that an index might come in handy as far as different things that we have to look at, different accounts, different paperwork. It might be handy to know, like, when you dealt with a certain thing. That way you're not going, okay, I dealt with that. Did I deal with that in March, or did I deal with that in April? And you're flipping through, if you keep it labeled on the index portion, that might be very helpful. I've never used the index portion myself. That's entirely up to you. You don't even have to use it as an index planner. That's the thing with that's the thing with planners. A lot of people kind of like customize them however they want. So you'll definitely see some of the people on like the YouTube planner channels, they'll be using like whiteout and stickers and all kinds of things, and they'll be like Frankensteining their planner to suit them. So again, that's up to you and however creative that you would feel like you would want to be. Okay, then we keep going, and you're going to be on pages 6 and 7, and this is going to be the Law of Attraction Roadmap. Now, again, like I said, you don't have to use this section of the planner if you don't ever want to. That is totally up to you, okay? But it's just basically a roadmap of awareness and self-discovery, making a mission and vision statement, setting big goals, creating a vision board and life statement, making a clear strategy, taking action, your monthly and weekly act plans, feeling good and manifest fast, reflect and celebrate. And they have different things in between the path, okay? And like I said, you don't have to use this. I totally get it that a lot of people, don't necessarily find the law of attraction like that. Like they think of it as a pseudoscience, and I guess you could, but again, I think a lot about how we navigate our grief journey has a lot to do with allowing our minds to possibly shift sometimes from black and white into some of the grayer areas. So like, I know I don't see the law of attraction as mysteriously giving me $5,000 tomorrow, okay? I don't see that happening. But I do like the positive aspects of, the brain, speaking with yourself and self-reflecting, that type of thing. I do actually enjoy that. So, it might be something that you would also find a little bit of joy and inspiration from. Now, obviously, as grieving spouses, we definitely become aware of a completely new us. Okay, we definitely change after we lose our spouse. So we do not only go through the grief journey, but we really do go through a journey of self-discovery of who we are going to be. Okay, so some of it does make sense for the grieving spouse. We have to now find a new life purpose. We have to figure out how to create harmony for ourselves. We have to change our priorities. We need to create positive surroundings for ourselves, that's for sure. I do think we need to practice daily gratitude, daily visualization, and that could be nothing more than getting out of bed, making that cup of coffee, making yourself something to eat, and feeding your cat. Okay, if that's all you can visualize for your day, then that is a win-win. Okay, declutter your mind and get more inner peace. That is something I think we really struggle with. I think a lot of that can depend on how traumatic the loss of our spouse was, how much guilt do we feel over the situation. I know a lot of us beat ourselves up continually, like, my God, I should have done this different, There's just so much in that. So anything that we can do to declutter and take those thoughts and reframe them into more positive thinking, and realizing that, okay, we did the best that we could do with the knowledge and the ability that we had at that particular moment. Things that help encourage us to realize that maybe we couldn't have done a damn thing differently. Maybe we could, there's a possibility that I could have gotten my husband to the emergency room that morning, instead of later in the afternoon when he finally agreed. And there's a good chance that maybe they couldn't have done anything anyhow. And I just will, I don't know that. So, you know, I try to let go. I try to let go of the guilt and the what ifs the best I can. That's not to say that someday they don't sit upon my head like a cement truck, okay, and weigh heavily on me. But I try my best. You know, I mean, that's we can do. So yeah, so that is the roadmap. So let's go ahead then, and I'll flip to the next page. Okay, so when you turn to the next page, you're going to see that it's actually a flip out page, okay? So the smaller picture up in the corner shows what it looks like when you flip it all over. But on what would be page number 8, questions to empower your day. And they're saying answer these questions every morning in your mind or on a piece of paper. Visualize your answer and focus on how you feel. So this really comes into play with the journaling that I really love, which again, I'm a big fan of trying to get our brains to function and to think better as we go through the grief journey. I know a lot of us definitely have experienced the brain fog portion, and I truly think that, I mean, you have to go through that. I believe that's part of the brain's protection mechanism for you, the way that I have read it and understood it, because for a lot of us, losing our spouse is traumatic. It's one hell of a, so I get that, but I'm not trying to say you need to force yourself through that stage quicker than what your mental and physical abilities should allow your body to go through it. I'm not saying that, but I'm just thinking that using our brain and getting ourselves to a point where we're critically thinking better for ourselves is actually very good. I think it can be in this stage where a lot of widows and widowers will make mistakes that can not necessarily be a good thing on down the road. And I think a lot of that is because of the fact that our critical thinking skills are really, they are really shaken up badly. For some of us, they don't exist for a while. So yeah, that's why I'm big on the critical thinking and getting our brains engaged and going. So that's just my personal thought on it. I could like medically, scientifically be wrong on that. You know, the experts out there could say, oh, no, you don't want to do that, you know, but for me, that's just my personal feeling. So if you feel like that, go ahead and comment in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on that, because I would love to hear from you. So there are 10 questions to empower your day. What am I happy about? What am I excited about? What am I proud about? What am I grateful? What am I enjoying? What am I committed? Who do I love in my life? That could be a hard one. What are my 5 most important goals? So, you know, you just take those questions. You could have a separate journal if you wanted to, or you can use the sections in here at the end of each month, and we'll get to that in a little bit. There are some dotted grid pages for ideas and notes. You could journal about those. You know, and if you're into journaling, but you find that, okay, I can't do this every day, even maybe once a week, or at the beginning of the week, or at the end of the week, you know, you do whatever you are emotionally capable of doing when you can, okay? You don't necessarily have to force yourself to be so strict on these things. And then there's evening power questions that you can ask yourself. And there are 10 of those as well, okay? And like I said, just go through them looking at them from a positive mindset as to where you're going to be going in life. Don't necessarily always try to function on the, my God, I've lost my spouse and my life sucks and this is totally dark and miserable. You know, try to not approach it from that perspective. Try to approach it more from, I am getting through each of these sucky days. I might be doing it in my pajamas and I may not have combed my hair today, but I am getting through each of these days. And as I go on, where do I see myself? You know, what do I see myself happy about? You know, if you have to reframe the question in that kind of a manner versus the actual moment, you know, anything that you can do, my friend, anything that you can do. And then we'll go ahead and on the next slide here, we're going to take a look at the flip out section here. So we'll go ahead and do that next. Okay, I had to go get some more water because we are now up to 105. And there's still time during the day for the temperature to rise even higher. So yeah, that's where we're at. Okay, so the next section is, like I said, it's that flip out section. And let me go ahead and flip mine over to that. Okay. And so to the left-hand side is like a scale of, I guess, like your emotions, like where you're at. So there's all kinds of levels. And I know during the grief journey, there's going to be a lot of times that you're going to be sitting down towards the bottom part of it. The fear, the grief, the depression, the powerlessness, because that is one thing I do like to control as far as my daily schedule and what I'm doing. And that was a big one for me, the powerlessness that I felt. I had no control over the situation, something that I could fix. I couldn't get him to admit that he needed to go to the ER. So that, I don't feel, it's not that I feel like a victim, because it's this powerlessness victim. I don't necessarily feel like I was a victim, but I feel like my control, my sense of control, it wasn't there for obviously that weekend, and then it wasn't there for a very, very long time. But there's a lot of things at the bottom portion that definitely are things that we're going to be very familiar with as grieving spouses. But there are also, at the upper level, there are things such as contentment and hopefulness and optimism. Positive expect. I believe, enthusiasm, passion, joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. And those are things that, as you go through the grief journey, those are things that you're going to find yourself being, places that you're going to find yourself being at more often, okay, than in the beginning of the grief journey. So there are different colors for different emotions, okay. There are affirmations that you can meditate with or say or visualize, journal about, for each emotion that you're feeling. There also, I like the pictures that are in there to visualize daily, to meditate daily, to spend time in nature, accept and let go. And yeah, during the grief journey, obviously during the 5 stages of grief, we really have to, sadly, we have to get to the point where we have accepted the reality. You know, and that sucks to say that we have to get to that point, but it is true. There are also action steps to feel better and increase your emotional vibration. Now, again, like I said, a lot of people may think there's a little bit of woohoo in that. Um, but I guess you could look at the emotional vibration, even if you don't believe in the law of attraction, or all this metaphysical stuff, I guess you could say, that's going on. If you think about it, there's a lot to be said. How you're feeling emotionally really can affect the outcome of the hour that you're in, or the remainder of your day, or even the remainder of your week. So in a way, I guess that could be a sign of emotional vibration, how you're feeling, where your emotions are. I've definitely been doing some research and reading on this type of thing, and I am very curious. I am very curious to learn more. Like I said, I don't imagine that it's ever going to give me $5,000 happily in my checking account, and I don't believe that I'm going to wake up tomorrow 30 some pounds lighter. Uh, but there is something to be said about leveling out our emotions. The grief emotions that we feel during the grief journey, they swing back and forth so widely, so unexpectedly. I consider it a win-win if we can kind of be level emotion-wise for at least a couple of days, maybe. I consider that a win, because it's no fun to go from starting Monday off being pretty optimistic, and then Tuesday and Wednesday just being a complete emotional wreck, as far as crying and all the other emotions that go in with it. So even balancing our emotions better on a longer continued basis throughout the week, I think that's a goal for us to work towards, because that has to make a difference for us physically, emotionally, I would think. I might want to chit chat with a doctor about that, but sadly my doctor passed away a little while ago unexpectedly, so now I am trying to find a new physician. And these are the kind of topics that I know I could have discussed with him and say, hey, how does this interact, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, we'll have to see what we find as far as a new doctor. Action steps to feel better and increase your emotional vibration. So there's visualizing things, there's more doing charity work, volunteering, making to-do lists. Really, it's just a bunch of activities that, like I said, are going to work on getting your cognizant skills. I can't talk. Getting them to function better throughout the day, get thinking going. Taking time to self-reflect and think about things. So that kind of does align with where I have found myself lately. There are self-care suggestions, giving back suggestions, even entertainment suggestions. It could have some value. I definitely think it's going to have value for me. Whether or not it's going to have value for you or not, I'm not sure. But I'm going to, like I said, before we get into the actual planner and calendar portion, I'm definitely going to go over these sections with you, and we can talk about it a little, and you can think if, that might be right for you. And then we're going to do pages 10. Yeah, no, wait, not 10, 12. I'm sorry. We're going to do pages 12, 13, 14, and 15 kind of all together here. And basically, they just talk about why they created the planner, okay. So it's kind of like a letter of why they have the planner, how it came into being, how it can help you in your life, how to prepare yourself for this life-changing journey, is on page 14. Now, obviously, most of us we lost our loved one unexpectedly, so we did not have any time to prepare for this journey. We didn't want on this journey. Um, Also, if you knew that your spouse was ill, you may have had a little time to plan for the journey, but again, I'm sure you didn't want on this journey any more than any other grieving spouse wants on it. Um, but we can kind of take these things and adapt them to our situations. Um, you know, um, we just have to keep in mind that it was designed more so for people who didn't lose a spouse. So it may not necessarily resonate as being a perfect planner, um, if we are going to be someone that is using um, some of the manifestations, meditations and things. Um, but yeah, if you're going to use it in that respect, I think I think it could be well worth the read. They are doing some acknowledgments on page 15, and I definitely recognize a couple of names there. I definitely recognize a couple of names there just from people that I have either read material from or tried to follow in places. Um, and like I said, that portion may or may not be for you. But anyhow. And then Frederick wraps it up by saying, wishing you an amazing year ahead full of love, happiness, and success. It may not be the most amazing year that we've ever experienced, but if we make it to the end of 2023 and as we're going into 2024, I'm hoping that a lot of us have reached a stage in our grief journey where we can start to be thinking about looking ahead. We can maybe be finding more happiness from ourselves or from the people around us. Um, it says full of love. I don't know. A lot of grieving spouses definitely aren't looking for another romantic relationship, but I perceive the full of love right now as the love that you get from your friends and your family. I don't look at that as a romantic item because romance is not on my radar at the moment. And then there are links to follow them on Facebook, and go through their video courses. I don't remember if I signed up for the video courses or not. I am going to have to research that. I remember like shortly before hubby passed away, there were some things going on, and I was trying to realign myself and some things in life, you know, in the process of realigning our relationship. So I don't remember if I'm going to have to go through my emails and my account because I may have signed up for courses, and I just don't remember. Isn't that sad? Like hubby's been gone almost 2 years, and I feel like such a big chunk of my life kind of vanished. That's really sad. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that later. I'll have to let you know if I did or didn't. It, it may truly be a sort of additional discovery for me on that one. Okay, so then the next pages that we're going to be looking at, let me move my mouse here so I can open this up. Um, oops. Okay, so then page 16 and 17. 16 is a page dedicated to awareness and self-discovery, and that's important life questions. And you just basically, they say to use a timer and to think about questions and how you would answer them. And again, you know, um, that may not be something that you're at a point where you can do, or you may just have one or two ideas And you know that if you jot them down now, they'll be there for when you're ready for them. So so that's that page. Then on page 17, it's a mission and vision statement, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 questions there for that, and then there's a section to define and craft your vision statement that you do after you answer all 11 questions. And then you define and craft a mission statement and a vision statement. So those are things, like I said, I don't know if that would be something that, if you're early in the grief journey, that you would feel comfortable doing. I don't know that for sure. But, you know, there's nothing that says that on day number 1 you have to answer all of these, okay? You may get your planner. Let's say you start your planner in a typical calendar year in January, okay? And let's say June comes around and then you finally feel like coming and working on some and things. That's perfectly fine. There is no law that says that on day 1 when you take this, you know, say you order it from Amazon. I guess they still have it. I'll have to check that before the end of the video. But there's nothing wrong with the first day that you get this and you take it out and you just start setting it up as a regular calendar planner. There's nothing that says you have to, on day number 1, go through and do all these portions, okay? If you don't choose to do any of them at all, that's perfectly fine. Again, I think take the planner with where you're at in your grief journey. Utilize what resonates with you. If something doesn't resonate with you, you know, there's nothing that says you have to do it. So like I said, I'm just presenting what is at the beginning before we get into the monthly calendar portions. Okay, we're going to take a look next at page 18 and 19, and it's up to 106 already. So definitely I'm going to put my reminder out there again for everybody. Please stay hydrated. Please stay out of the direct sun as much as possible, especially if you're taking any kind of medication. I do know that direct sunlight can cause issues with that, so please, everybody, stay safe. Stay cool, stay hydrated. So page 18 is a goal setting page. Set 50 goals in all areas of your life. And I know as a grieving spouse, we may not have any other goals other than, and I keep using this one as an example, I'm sorry. We may not have any other goals other than getting out of bed, getting our cup of coffee, and feeding the cat. Okay? And that's perfectly fine. That can be a goal. That can be a goal in the early of the grief journey. There's nothing wrong with that, because there is no right or wrong way for you to be grieving, okay? You know, if you get out of bed, you make that cup of coffee, you fed the cat, and then you and the cats sit and binge watch TV together. Your kitty cat curls up next to you on the couch. There's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly acceptable, okay? Now, I do want to say that if you're still doing that, on a daily basis, let's say, I would say a year and a half to 2 years later, if that is all you're doing on a daily basis, I don't think that is healthy, emotionally or physically. You know, I know we all grieve differently, and I know our timelines are all differently, but I just hope that you haven't been extending your grief out to such a time span that is your daily goal, okay? I hope that's not the case for you. So basically the goal setting, if there was no limit to what you could do or become or whatever in the next 20 to 50 years, which I think is kind of I think it's kind of ridiculous because, after we hit a certain age, are we still going to be here ourselves 20 and 50 years? Okay. If you're a young one, um, if you're a young person and you're overall relatively healthy, okay. But I guess, they don't know what age you're going to be when you buy this planner. Okay. So keep that in mind. Um, so yeah. And they definitely say on this exercise, they don't want you to be realistic. And they don't want you to set what they call SMART goals. SMART goals would be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, or time-based goals. Okay, these are your big goals, your big visions, your big dreams. Okay. So that would be like me at my age saying that I wanted to be a gold medal winning figure skater. Okay. I mean, if you want, I guess what you want to do on this section, and there's 50 of them. So that, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, okay, there may be some really crazy ones out there that you would put on here, but later on you could come back to it and see what you filled out and see, is there a pattern, is there an area of something that you should be exploring that you have an interest in? Okay. So in other words, if you have a lot of artistic things that you would like to put on this list, learning how to paint or learning how to draw or learning how to sketch, that may be a sign that, okay, there's something artsy within you, and you might want to work to bring that out, to cultivate it a little bit. Okay, so I kind of think that's kind of more your fun side, I guess. Page 19 is creating harmony on all levels. And they're considering your spiritual areas, your health areas, your personal growth, your family, your relationships, your career, business, fun and recreation, money, and they're lumping that into your life goals, which when you think about it and you look at it from an objective point of view, okay, if any of those things are out of alignment, your body's not going to feel like it's at harmony. Okay. Or in other words, we're not going to be feeling our best. We're not going to be optimistic. We're not going to be joyful. We're not going to feel as happy when we're off balance. Okay, so if you think about it, that kind of does make sense. You want these things to be what's the word? I want aligned for whatever whatever applies in your life. Okay. So yeah, there's that page. Okay. Um, and I'm not really going to talk much about that because, that kind of thing's kind of personal as to how you fill out these sections anyhow. You know, if you and I were both to sit down in the same room for a couple of hours and work through these sections together, obviously your planner and everything that you write in it is probably going to be completely different from mine, and again, that's perfectly normal. So we'll go ahead, and I got to take another drink because it is freaking, even though my air's working, it's still kind of, you still need that water even though you're inside. So we'll do that, and then we'll move to the next page. Okay, so that brings us over to page 20 and 21. And 20 is just about choose 5 top goals from what you have listed that you would want to achieve in 1 year. And then it wants to know, are they your true desires and why? Set rewards if you achieve your goals. Reprogram your mind and unlock your true potential. So basically, this is a lot of just the self-reflection, and trying to find where you're at in this moment, trying to discover what about you it's basically like rediscovering yourself in the self-identity portion, because let's face it, after we lose our loved one, we really do have to kind of go through that rediscovering ourselves, creating a new identity. So this, a lot of this can be applied to that journey. And then, of course, on page 21 is a where am I going, how do I get there type of thing. And then under each row, you have your free time and family, health, financial, career, business, relationship, personal development, and spiritual. So there is that section. So yeah, basically a lot of that is just going to be our rediscovering ourselves and creating new identities for ourselves as we move along the grief journey. Okay, so the next section obviously is another flip out section, and you can also tell from the dates on the calendar, you can tell that this one was purchased at a point where to actually utilize this calendar, but it's okay. It's all right because the pages themselves are undated, and it doesn't matter that the flip out calendar is almost at the end of 2023. That's not a big deal. When I bought this planner would have been probably for this one, I want to say I probably got it right before hubby had passed away, so it would have been late 2021. So I would have anticipated of 2022. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. So when you flip it over, then the next section is going to be how will I make it happen? And you're supposed to write down one goal for each area of your life for this year, and how you will make it happen. Okay. So each area would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they're color coded. Each area is going to be, I don't know if you can see it in the picture. Spiritual goals, personal development goals, relationship goals, career or business goals, financial goals, health goals, and free time and family goals. Okay, so the little color sections that decide, you're supposed to list goals for that. And then when you open it up, that page then will flip out again, and there's a I love my life page and I am so grateful for page, and they're blank, there's no lines as far as that goes. So you could be free to doodle, scribble, paint, whatever you would want to do on there. You could post photographs in there, whatever suits your fancy. Okay. At the beginning of it, there is a quote that says, feel the present. It says, feel the present, hold the vision, let go of resistance, enjoy the journey, trust the process, and know that all is well. Okay, that might not be the best quote for a grieving spouse, but there are portions of that I think we can start to latch onto as we move through the grief journey. Okay, I don't mean like that, but trust the process of your own grief journey and how you're navigating it. Okay, keep that in mind because like everybody knows, we can't stress this enough. My grief journey is different than yours. We all go through different timelines, and we all go through different aspects differently. So just try to hold on to the portions that are going to resonate and make sense with you. Okay. It says know that all is well. Okay, well, we might argue against that all is well, to kind of take that as know that my process of going through the grief journey is as well as it's going to be. Okay. It's gonna be well for me. It may not suit any anybody else. You know, others will navigate theirs differently, but know that all is well is, I'm just going to take it as, okay, this is okay for me. Then it has a page for most important life goals. And basically, I think I haven't read through and sat down and looked at this very thoroughly because I never did this before in my other planners. Okay, the pages were there and I just never really had the interest in them. Okay, but I think you're going to be moving goals as you progress along each of these sections, is what I kind of think. That's kind of what I think as you move through all these pages. Then you're going to be creating your life statement, and basically what you want your life to look like. Make sure you use all of the five senses: sight, touch, hearing, smell, and taste. Okay, and it's like, write down how much money you'll earn. Write down in full detail the following areas of your life will be like, blah, 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 blah. Describe it as a movie playing inside your head. Okay, so if you're not a writer, you might struggle with, if you're more familiar with journaling and have done that process for a while, then you may not struggle with that one too much. But like I said, you know, if you can't write down sentences and if you write down words or phrases that mean something to you, go for it. Okay. Again, you utilize your planner for you, however it resonates with you the best. Okay, so the next section or pages that we're going to look at are 28 and 29. 28 is called strategy, skills, habits, and people. Skills I want to master to achieve my goals. Habits I want to change and learn to achieve my goals. Who am I to achieve my goals? Who am I surrounded by? Who will keep me accountable? What can I delegate? This section is actually, I think, could be very useful to grieving spouses. First of all, skills that you want to master to achieve my goals. I know I've talked about in previous videos, sometimes grieving spouses need to either return to the workforce or upgrade the career, to make the financial ends meet. And part of that journey might be that you're finding out that there are certain skills that you're weak in, and possibly want to have better mastery of them. So that would be something that maybe you want to put down there. And that could be something as simple as learning Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word, upping your skills, and how and from whom can I learn these. And that's just a matter of doing research. Some of those skills you can upgrade kind of on your own and through YouTube videos. I know there are quite a lot of Microsoft there who have excellent content in those areas, that you don't necessarily have to take a class for. Then again, there might be something that you want to return to school and pay money for a class. So that's an area that might be beneficial for us. Habits I want to change and learn to achieve my goals. So old habits to unlearn. And I know one thing with the grief journey is, how do I say this? Like, I don't want anybody to feel bad. But there may have been old habits in your life that you had stepped away from. And then after your spouse passed away, you might have returned to them. Those could be old habits such as drinking, cigarette smoking, drug use, unhealthy eating. There's so many old habits that just kind of reemerge during the grief journey. And I don't say that to make any of us feel bad about that, because I think it just kind of naturally happens, I think, for a lot of us. And I think it's just, you hit a point, I think, in the grief journey when you realize some of these things that you have fallen back towards or picked back up, whether it is smoking or drink. I think you do reach a point where you're like, oh, okay, I see what I have been doing. I see that this is not good for me. So it could be things like that, that you're putting in that particular section. Who am I surrounded by? People who influence me in a negative way. The people I will spend more time with. That could be useful because our support group, we find a lot of people that maybe initially we thought we could depend on to be in our support group, and as time went on, they did things that disappointed us, were disrespectful to us, those kind of things. We won't really spend time going into detail, but they've basically proven that they're not a positive influence and a positive supporter for you. So, you could write those names down. And then, of course, the positive people that you're like 100% trustworthy with. They've shown you the love, the support, the dignity, and the respect. You could list their names and their contact information there. And I always tried to keep after my husband, because he had fallen out of this habit. He had a lot of contacts in his phone, and I had a list actually on our refrigerator, a phone list of people's phone numbers, who they were. And I always said, well, we need to do this. I said, we need to have a physical copy. I said, we really should keep a copy in our wallets, because if we're ever out and about and something's not right with our phone, we have to borrow somebody else's phone. You have those numbers, because it's not like when I was a kid where you pretty much either memorized phone numbers or you had them written in the book, and pretty much you knew those numbers by heart. You didn't have to think about it. And so I was always on him. We need to keep our list updated, when people did change phones, that sort of thing, because I said, you may heart, but if you're out and the car breaks down or you're in a wreck, you might not be able to speak for yourself, or you just might be so rattled you can't think of the number at that particular moment. I know that was the case with me. The day that I lost my husband, my brain totally, like, I couldn't have told you my mom and dad's phone number for nothing. I couldn't dial it. And I had somebody else actually calling them for me. I actually had to scroll through the caller ID on the phone, to get their number to dial it, because for the life of me, I couldn't remember it. And it's been the same phone number since I was like 6 years old. So that's pretty sad, but that's an example of why you should have these contacts, someplace on paper as well. Okay, my monitor cord, I just bumped it. So I hate when that happens, because the power will just go out temporarily and I have to jiggle the cord, and I know I need to get back in there and put it back in. Then on page 29, it's create a new supportive story. The reasons why you believe you are not yet successful, what is holding you back, what limiting beliefs are holding you back, why do you believe that you are not good enough. Write down more empowering and supportive beliefs that you want to be a part of your new life. Take each of your unsupportive beliefs and make it into a positive one. So that's into the like the area for the cognitive reframing videos that I did, where you're taking a look at thoughts and you're trying to restructure it and reframe it to give yourself more inspiration and more positivity, more reinforcement of, yes, I can do X, Y, Z. So that kind of comes into play with that. So that definitely comes into play with that. Which if you have actually taken time to do some of those journal prompts that we had in the cognitive reframing section, videos. Some of these answers might come very quickly to you. This is one that I would actually, whether you want to use the planner's portion of the law of attraction or not, this is one that you consider doing. Um, Simply because we have to create a new story for ourselves. We have to create a new life for ourselves. And we do hit a certain point where we recognize certain thoughts and beliefs and actions that we realize that aren't as positive for us as what maybe we used to do prior to our loss. So this section on page 29, I would suggest doing. I'm going to go ahead and sit down and work on that one for sure. But I would suggest doing that because there's a lot about you that you may not realize it yet, depending on where you are in the grief journey. But there is a lot more to you than just the sad part of the grief journey. You are strong, you are intelligent, you are capable, you are a loving human and give the world. And there's a lot that you can give yourself. So, yeah, my suggestion would be, if nothing else, definitely work on creating a new supportive story for yourself and for your future as you move ahead. I think that would definitely be a good exercise for you. And if you're new to the channel, I will go ahead and, if I can remember, either put links to the cognitive reframing series for you, or I think I can go ahead and set it where, but definitely go ahead and check those out for sure. So yeah, let's go ahead then. Let me set that down, and then we'll go to the next pages. Okay. Thank goodness the temperature's dropping. We only got to, what was it, 106 today, so we didn't hit 110. Yay, I'm so happy. It's dropped to 102, which is wonderful because I wanted to bake a pizza for dinner tonight, and I don't want to turn the oven on until it's cooler. So yay, that's wonderful. Okay, so page 30 and 31 are chunk bigger goals into smaller goals, and then make a mind map for your daily action plan. Chunking bigger goals into smaller goals is obviously something that is not unfamiliar to me as a concept. I have definitely seen this with a lot of the authors that I follow on YouTube. And it's something that I had started implementing, oh my gosh, several years ago. Because it obviously wasn't just a good technique for writing a novel, but it's also just a good technique for anything that you have to work through, especially if it feels like it's a very big or overwhelming task. So, as a grieving spouse, we know that we need to go through their clothing, and that can be very overwhelming. I still have not gotten through all of his clothing. But there's a way to break that down into smaller goals. And if you're new to the channel, you probably don't know the story, but I'll share it with you real quickly, where about a week or so after he passed away, I mistakenly thought that I could just empty everything out of the closet the way that I used to be able to do on a weekend and go through it, and I thought I would be able to get through everything. And so I had his clothes, my clothes, all the clothes. I had all the boxes out, all the hangers, I got in there and I got it dusted and mopped the floor and everything, and so it was very clean. Unfortunately, the bed was piled high. The floor around the bed was piled high with stuff. I really don't know how we got all that stuff in there, but two people, especially when you have creative hobbies like we did, you can accumulate a lot of stuff really fast. And I ended up that I could not proceed with the process. So it was basically like I was trying to take a whole big project and do it all at once, and the emotional mindset at the time. I just couldn't do it like I used to be able to do. I used to do that like about twice a year on like a 3-day weekend, and I would start it like on a Friday night, and usually by Saturday night, maybe early Sunday, I would have the whole thing done. Anything that we wanted to donate, everything was sorted properly, the closet was all cleaned. I just couldn't do it. So for weeks, all of those clothes, just everything laid on the bed and sat on the floor. So basically, to break that down into a smaller goal for you so that you don't make the same mistake that I did, start slow and small. So one way to do this might be that in one session you do socks and underwear. Maybe in another session you do not all the clothes, because it depends on how many clothes that your loved one had, what kind of clothes they had. You might just want to take a session where you do jackets. You might want to take a session where you're just doing shirts, another one where you're just doing t-shirts. Break it down into small little sections. I think that works much easier. Allow your mind to wonder if you can donate it, toss it. I know I have kept some older t-shirts and things, and they're in a box, and I'm actually going to be using them for packing material. So I have those boxed or in a Rubbermaid, in a tote. I know that they're old, they're stained. He wore them for work. And I know I probably won't keep a lot of them. But they're going to be packing material for when I move. So, that'll be, a little bit less of an expense for packing material. One thing you might want to do as you go through this, and again, this is why a smaller chunk is better. I know some people have taken clothing articles, had people make them into quilts or pillows. I think I saw bears. Somebody made stuffed bears. So, anything that you think, might be something that could be used for a project like that, you would definitely want to consider putting that aside. But yeah, just do that kind of thing slowly. That's just an example of a big one. The map that they have is the lifetime goals, my why, my rewards, my 3-year goals, my 1-year goals, my 3-month goals. So that page could kind of be beneficial. I would say do it in pencil maybe the first time, because you might find yourself changing things. But there's a lot of stuff that we need to go through, and it's perfectly fine if you're in the grief journey, you're close to 3 months in, and you have not gone through anything of your spouse's. That's perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine. I am almost at the end of 2 years, and there's still a hell of a lot of his stuff that I need to go through. Kind of got most of it boxed or Rubbermaid totes so that it wasn't serving as a visual reminder. And I'm just now getting to a point where emotionally I can sit down and take a look at that. So this page could be helpful for you. The next page is make a mind map for your daily action. Plan. So this is like your 1-year goals and what will contribute to your 1-year goals. So focuses, strategies, mindsets, habits, and stuff like that. So that can be another section that would be useful. I would say for those 2 pages, definitely consider doing them maybe in pencil, or maybe if you're a neat freak like me, like I don't want to put stuff in my planners that look sloppy, and I hated making mistakes. So I always had white out with me, and all my out in them, because I would write something down, and I was like, oh my gosh, as a Virgo, I always felt like it had to be like 100% perfect when I sat down and did things in my planner, and it frustrated me to no end when I had to do changes or revisions or anything like that. So if you want to, I would say pen, or if you're okay with pen, just remember to have some white out. That way you can work through it. I personally, I'm going to tell you this, I do not like the old-fashioned bottled whiteout. I absolutely hate it. So I have some of the Bic whiteout, the Easy Cricks. I have quite a few of them from when I was working from home. I love those. They roll on these pages so smooth. If you do make a mistake, obviously I know from experience, they work really well on that. They dry pretty quickly and the pages don't stick together then. That bottled crap, my mother had it at home when I went back to visit her and dad. I absolutely hated that stuff. So I had bought a pack of, I think it was 3. And I think I left 2 of them there. But my mother, she's kind of technologically impaired. And so, she obviously, when she was working as a young woman, they had bottled whiteout, right? And so some of these newer concepts, even though it's not new to us, just kind of throw her for a loop. And she's like, well, how do you use this pen? And it was kind of funny. But yeah, don't use the bottled crap because it never dries smooth. I don't think it dries as fast. And if you shut the planner too soon, then when you go to pull it apart, it's like you can feel that stickiness because it hasn't dried. So yeah, definitely, definitely don't recommend the bottled whiteout. So then the next section that we're going to be moving into is actually the calendar part. So if you are waiting for this portion, you'll be glad to know that is coming next. But like I said, I really did want to go through the law of attraction portion, all of these pages just for anybody that might be interested. So you could take a look at it, see if it resonates with you, might help you on your grief journey. So yeah, that's that section. And the next section up is going to be the calendar section. Okay, finally, the calendar section itself for the planner. So yeah, let me go ahead and open one up for you. So it starts out, I gotta have my book in front of me while I'm recording the audio here. So obviously I get the undated ones. So you can start, obviously feel free to start in any month you want. Like mine will be starting in September. But you feel free to start it whenever. That's why I love the undated planners. But you see, you've got a month set there, and then in each of the boxes, you can go ahead and fill yourself. And then off to the left-hand side, you have the goal of the month. So that could be things like, oh, okay, the inspection and the registration is due on my car this month. So you could write that down. If you want to reward yourself, if you achieve that goal, you could just include that there. There's a section for a feel-good intention, and there's a section for a skill or habit to learn, which carries over from all of those previous pages. And you can use that, or you can take whiteout and change that and make it something else that's more relevant to you in your life. Then the next section is a desired goal for the month, and there is, let me see, I gotta actually turn a light on now. I have my blinds shut to keep the sun out, so I needed to turn a little bit extra light on because it's starting to get a little bit darker out. So your desired goals for the month, there's 3 of them. So they're obviously keeping it small, keeping those things in small chunks, okay? Rather than thinking that you have to go through all of your spouse's and all of his belongings and everything in, if he had a desk or if he had a garage. That's too much. Especially if you have to do it yourself and you don't have a lot of help with you. So that kind of carries through that philosophy. Keep your goals small and manageable, realistic chunks, okay? Then there's a section for action steps to take, top priority tasks to complete. So there's 3 things. Then that could go along with your desired goals, or that could be, 3 other things that you need to accomplish for the month. And then each one is broken down into 5 action steps that you need to do that process. So let's say you're starting to go through your husband's clothes. You might want to get a couple of boxes or Rubbermaids as you're going through them. and, put in like, okay, this can go, or this, I don't know if I want to donate it. And then you could maybe have another Rubbermaid tote that could be, I would like to save this and I want to see if somebody can turn it into a quilt or a stuffed bear or a pillow for me. Okay. Doesn't say that you have to actually remove the items from the home. Okay. It's just a storage place for the items as you move through the process. Okay. So your action steps could be, I want to buy 4 large boxes or 4 Rubbermaids or however many you think that you might need. You might know that need some type of labels or the marking pens. What the heck are they called? Let me grab one here. The Sharpies. So you might know that you need Sharpies. You might know that you need Scotch tape if you're going to box the boxes up. You might know that you need garbage bags. That type of thing. So that would just be like one example. If you have to get the car registered and inspected for the month, you might want to know that you have your insurance card, that you actually have all the information for your state, and that you have it all handy for whatever day you go to get that done. So that's the kind of thing that you could put there. Then on the next page, you're going to have, it's a dotted, which I kind of like. I kind of like all those. I think I like lines better, but everybody's different. So ideas, gratitude, victories, notes, project flow chart, mind map. Really, you can use that for in any way that resonates with you. Okay. If you don't want to use it to write anything at all, but say you have a favorite picture that you would like to have in there. If you have children, say you took them somewhere and you got a very precious, lovely photo of them laughing and smiling. You might want to put it there so that every time during the month that you look at that page, you're going to have their little smiling faces looking at you. Or you might want to put a picture of your little kitty cat or your dog, or I don't know, if you have spiders or lizards or snakes. My niece was into those. I never was. I have to have a fuzzy furry dog or kitty cat in my life, but we're all different. But whatever, however you want to use that section it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. You structure the planner in a way that's going to resonate and work for you the best. So then we're going to go ahead and go over to the daily section next. Okay, so the next page is going to be the section for the week. And my apologies, I'm looking at the picture and it is kind of blurry, but I just kind of had them sitting on my couch because I could lay them out kind of flat and keep the ribbons that are in them away from the kitty cat. So I do apologize for that. It is, like I said, it is a little bit blurry, but your week on this particular planner is a Monday start. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have Sunday start as well. So take a look on the website, but I want to say they have a Sunday start as well. But of course you have the little box going across for each day that you can actually fill the date in. You have a box for today's goal. Okay, so say on Monday, that's the day for you to take your car to get it inspected. So you could just, write car inspection, whatever time you're going down in the slots available for the time. They give you a list of 3 priorities for each day as it comes across. And then the time starts at 5 a.m. and runs all the way down to 10:30 p.m. So it's half hour increments. So for work purposes, that's really good. Whether you're working in an office or working from home, I think that's a neat way to have it. And then too, if you have little ones and you have to be running them to different practices or different lessons, you can write down the lessons across the page. Then at the bottom there is, there's actually a quote here from Rhonda Byrne. The truth is, there is more than enough love, creative ideas, power, joy, and happiness to go around. Most of the quotes that are found throughout here are supposed to be very positive and inspirational. I know I know that during the grief journey, sometimes we don't see anything inspirational or positive, but they're there. Um, and I'm pretty sure it changes every month. Yes, it does. Um, but you can always, just because it changes every week. I'm sorry. It changes every week. Like the next one on this particular planner is a quote from Tony Robbins. So, just because the particular week resonate with you, there's probably going to be several that do. Um, so then, of course, there's the to-do list, priority, and top priority. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 lines that you could use for um, top priority, or 3 lines for just priority but not top. You can kind of categorize that the way you want. And again, whiteout, stickers, pen, you take these sections and utilize them in the way that makes sense for you right now. There's a positive habit tracker, and it goes Monday through Sunday. Gratitude and love, meditate, and exercise. So if you achieved the positive habit maker, you could mark it in some way. I've seen stickers that are little gold stars. Believe it or not, I like little gold stars too. I don't think that I have any in my sticker supply, but I'd have to look. It's been a while since. Yeah, you don't want to know about my planners and all that stuff. Someday we'll have to take a tour just to amuse yourselves by watching it. But yeah, then the little dot grid section is under the ideas, the gratitude, the victories, the notes, the project flow chart, and the mind map. Like I said, you can customize this however it resonates with you. So there's a section for each of the month. One thing I would say before you just jump in and start dating it is pull out another calendar and know where your cutoff is for the end of the month, so that you don't. I think I did that one time. I don't remember what I did. But I kind of messed it up and lost a couple days, and they had to flow over into like the next month's section. So, definitely kind of just take a look, see how many days are actually in your month, before you start just going, because you might find out that you, especially with February, because that being a shorter month, sometimes you may actually have Monday and Tuesday the month prior, that sort of thing. So just kind of take a look for that, and then to set it up. And the next section is going to be the end of the month section. So we'll go ahead and look at that real quick. Okay, and then at the end of the month, they allow a section for reflecting on the month. This one has a quote from Oprah Winfrey: "The more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate." And for us, while we're going through the grieving journey, it's kind of important to remember all those small little celebrations as we continue to move along our journey. Like I said, if you get out of bed, you get your cup of coffee, and you got your cat fed, celebrate it. Okay? Celebrate it. It's important. Okay? It's important. Okay? And trust me, as you move along the grief journey, you are going to find more. You're going to find more things to celebrate. I know it may not seem like it now, sweetie, but I promise you it is coming. It will come for you. So, there's what did I learn this month? Distraction, mental blocks, fears. How did I make myself feel good? What did not happen? Why? People I learned from and who inspired me, and what actions can I take to improve? Okay, so those sections I think are going to be very good as you're going through the grief journey, and you're at a stage like me where you're like, okay, I have been in this long enough, and now it is time to start gathering the pieces of my life back up and starting my new chapter of life and figuring out where in the heck I'm going. Um, so I think this can be useful for those of us that have hit that particular point. Um, so is there anything that you learned during the month? And this can be anything. I mean, this can be anything from, okay, I learned this person in my support, I don't want in my support group anymore. It can be something like, oh, okay, I learned that there's a store that makes this wonderful bread that I just discovered, this month, and I'm going to use that flavorful bread as a treat. Lovely bakery. Um, gosh, I mean, there's so many things when you think about it. Like, you could learn, oh, there's a TV channel on my Roku that carries some stuff that I really enjoy and I never knew it existed before. It could be something like I discovered a new cat food that my cat loves. Um, just anything that you've learned throughout the month. You've discovered a new YouTuber to follow. You discovered a new author that you really love their book. You might be learning some things. Um, there's just so many things that you may not realize that you're learning, but you know, definitely those are things just to keep in mind. You don't have to wait until the end of the month, I don't think, to fill this out. I wouldn't. Like, if there's something that's important enough for me to want to remember, like, I discovered a YouTuber that covers a certain topic that I really enjoy. I might write that down on the day that I discover it. You know, um, you know, I mean, like I said, it's up to you. You use the planner how it's going to resonate with you. The section for distraction and mental blocks and fears. I know for us on the grief journey, there are certain things that will trigger intense waves of emotions. This might be a good section to go ahead and record those kind of things. A particular a store that triggered you. You might want to write down, like, I'm not ready to go back to Hobby Lobby because my husband and I used to shop there all the time. Okay, so you might just want to write down avoid Hobby Lobby. Um, how did I make myself feel good? There's 5 items as well for there. This could be something like, hey, I managed a couple of times this month to get out and take a walk. And that's something that I didn't do last month. So those little things. I bought a new face mask. I bought a new eye cream. Um, those are the kind of things that, okay, may seem insignificant to somebody else, but to us, they mean the world. Okay? And don't feel bad about it. Don't feel silly about it. What did not happen and why? Um, Obviously we can start our day with really good intentions, and then something can happen that can trigger us and we fall back a couple of steps in our journey. That has happened to me several times in the past couple of weeks. I start out really good with really good intentions. Like the other day, I got a text message on his cell phone saying that he was overdue for an eye appointment. And I started the day out really positive, and yeah, that kind of threw me into a little bit of a spin. Um, what was it, about a month and a half ago? I was having a really good day. I was even out and about, and I had dressed, got myself dressed, did my hair, put on some makeup, and I went into this particular place, and there was a fellow walking towards the back, and oh my God, it sent me into a tailspin. Um, the resemblance to my husband was freaky scary. Um, had his hair the same way. His hair was the same color, same type of walk, pretty much the same type of build for the body, except he was a little bit taller and a little bit heavier. The style of clothing was the same. Shirt, shorts, shoes, like, good God. Like, it just, it was freaky. And then he turned around, come back up over to their customer service counter. So I got a look at the front of him then, and that was even scary. The same dark eyes, the same shape to the nose, almost the same way that he wore the facial hair and the mustache. The eyes was just so freaky. It was almost like I was staring into hubby's eyes, right? His hands, the fingers, the fingernails, yeah, I would be willing to bet money that he also was a musician, and an artist for sure. So that was just freaky. So I had this really good day where, I was like, okay, the sun's shining, it's beautiful, it's not too hot, I'm happy, I'm confident in what I'm doing, and I walk into there and boom, there's like my husband's almost twin brother. It was just freaky. And that sent me into a tailspin for several days. And, note to self, I'm not going back to that place again. Okay. So, just things like that. You might want to keep a record of people that I learned from and who inspired you are like, physically with at the moment. Okay, it could be somebody that you've talked to on the phone, it can be somebody that you're reading their book, somebody that you're following on YouTube, it could be a figure from your favorite soap opera. Okay, if they have done something, from your favorite TV show, if there's something that's very positive in what they do, that can be very inspiring. I just recently learned that in the Star Trek world, Strange New Worlds, which I have not really watched much of yet, but I recently, actresses on there lost her husband unexpectedly in between filming of season 1 and season 2. And that inspires me that, oh my gosh, I think she had to have somebody help drive her. I think they were filming in Canada. And I think she had to have relatives or friends drive her back to Canada so that she could be present for filming. But that is just so inspirational to me, that a young woman who lost her husband unexpectedly. And to me, that would be, being the Star Trek fan that I am, to me, I'm thinking, my God, what an opportunity. And then to have something like that happen. And to know that no matter, like, she's a consistent regular on the show. I don't know how big her part actually is because I'm not that familiar with it. But I'm thinking, my God, you're playing a part in a franchise that has existed since before I was born, right? So that would be, if I was an actress, I would be like, gosh, I got a role in Star Trek. I would be like so eternally grateful. Yeah. But she inspires me because you know what? I did not know that about her. And so I was reading an article that, she had written, and I was just so inspired by the fact that, she got up and she went and, did that. So that inspired me. So it can be, anybody from anywhere that gives you a lesson that will improve. Obviously, during the grief journey, we're often thinking about, my gosh, how can I get back to being better in my life? What can I take to improve? It's a slow process. It's not going to happen like rapid, instantly, like in a couple of days. Okay. You may be Okay. You may be forced to go back into more of your normal routine, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be at the level that you were prior to losing your spouse. Okay. So there's always actions that we can take to improve. You just have to sit and reflect about that. Okay. The next section are, what are the greatest insights that I have gained? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 sections there. And again, this is more like journaling. You sit and think about and reflect on your month. Okay. And just kind of journal what you need to. Was I in harmony? And it's a circle. I'm not exactly too sure. I mean, I can tell it's broken down into the different sections: career, attitude, social life, relationships, family, health, personal growth, and finances. I don't know how, if you like, I don't know. I got to research that one. I got to read some of the instructions. I don't know how you fill that circle out. I will tell you that so far in the month of August, I don't consider myself in harmony. Um, definitely not as far as me personally, and in my flute practice. Definitely not in harmony, because I'm just trying to get back into that after being away from that for about a month. So yeah, so that's that section there. Then we're going to cover the next section here real quick, and that's going to be idea and notes. Okay, so then immediately following that section is an idea and notes section of pages, and it is 2 pages. It's dot grid. And here I just say have at it, scribble what you need as you need it. Don't scribble, make it an art section. Use it however it resonates with you. There's all kinds of ideas. I know I used my section in the one after my husband passed away. As I was making phone calls and things like that, I started up in the left-hand corner and started writing down things, notes, phone numbers, email addresses, that kind of thing. So, definitely have at it. Use that section as it resonates with you. So then from there, you immediately flow into the next month. And so you have all of the sections for your 12 months. Okay. So, whoops. Then at the end of your 12 months, you have an idea and notes section. And then we're going to cover the next section real quick. So let me go ahead and get that set up here. Okay, let me see. Okay. I don't know, the temperature went back up again. Went all the way back up to 105, so maybe there was clouds that went over top of wherever they're doing the temperature readings. But yeah, it went back up. So anyhow, we're back up to 105. Yay! Gotta love the heat down here in the south. Okay, so then at the end of your 12 months, you're going to have the section for reflect on your year. And again, it's set up just like the end of the month pretty much. Celebrate your top 10 achievements. What did I learn this year? What events, books, or movies impacted me the most? What were my 5 happiest or empowering moments? What were the most challenging situations this year? How did I grow from them? What were my 5 biggest strengths and weaknesses this year? What are the greatest insights that I've gained over the year? What little things did I enjoy the most? How did I love or give or contribute? What do I still want to release or let go of? What am I most grateful for? So again, it's more like a journaling section, but you're supposed to kind of take a look back at your year and reflect upon it. That way you can, following year, the next year, or the next 12 months, because you may not be running yours January to December. Designing your next year, there are a set of questions that you would want to think about as you move forward. And I still, I think these actually are good to start asking yourself now, versus waiting till the end of the 12 months in your planner. I would maybe put like a post-it note, a colorful post-it note there, so I could always flip to that page and keep it in mind, because I think as you're moving through the grief journey, it's good to kind of keep things like this in mind, so that as new opportunities start to come in, or you feel like making new opportunities, you'll have them handy. So then after that section, there are quite a number of the dot grid pages. So the dot grid pages run from 226 all the way through no, I take that back. Whoops. Nope. This section here runs all the way to 259. And then after 259, there are just a set of instructions on how to use the planner. They talk about awareness and self-discovery, creating a mission and vision statement, goal setting. They give you examples of how to fill things out. I didn't take pictures of all of this. Just because I thought that that would make this video much, much longer than it already is. But there's a lot of things talking about the goal setting, creating your life statement, creating a vision board. I have never created a vision board. So if anybody watches this video and you've created a vision board, comment on the section below, because I have never created one. I've seen a lot of the authors that I follow on YouTube that have created, but I'd be interested in hearing about that experience for you. So yeah, those more detailed how to use the planner, that runs through 269. And then on 270 through 271, it just gives you tips on better manifesting. Which again, like I said, we have to be realistic. We know darn well we're not going to be able to magically have $5,000 appear in our checking account by tomorrow morning. But I do think we can really use our minds to help us become more aware of ourselves and what our purpose is going to be, and how our, the life changes that we've gone through, what purpose can we take from them when we help others. You all know that part of my goal is to try to grow the community here and try to help other grieving widows and widowers. I never want to forget the guys. So I feel like that's kind of become part of my purpose in life. So yeah, it just gives you tips on manifesting. I know some of the wording can be a little put-offish, standoffish, is that the word I want? Just because we're in the grief journey, and there are sections like enjoying the journey, and to us that would kind of seem offensive because we're not enjoying the journey by any means. But like I said, these aren't specifically designed for a grieving spouse. So, it's designed for your general public and their use. And I don't intention to upset us with that kind of wording when it appears. Because they don't know who's buying their planners. And yeah, I bought these before hubby passed away. So, at the time, if I would have started using them, while he was still with me, it wouldn't have upset me. And now I see that kind of wording. And there was a time when it really would have triggered me, like excessively bad. But it doesn't so much now. Just because I think I'm know that I'm going forward in this journey. So there's that. Then there's a map at the back, top 20 places that I'd love to visit. So if you're a traveling person, there is a map of the world, and to fill in 20 places that you might want to explore. My husband and I never got to travel. He always wanted to go back to Germany. And there were some other places. I always wanted to go to Scotland and Ireland, and we had often talked about having that on our to-do list. That never happened, but maybe for you'll be fortunate enough to be able to take time to be able to go and explore some of those places. There is also a map of the United States with all the 50 states. I believe it's the counties. If you're able to travel and see new things, I highly recommend it. I saw the other day the coolest YouTuber. And they were their motorcycles, I guess they were Harleys, and they were riding from, I think he did Louisiana, but he had a bunch of friends that met along the way. And so they went to Sturgis and they went up to Mount Rushmore. And the videos were just like awesome. And it's obviously a younger man than me. But it was just the coolest thing. I don't know why that popped up on my YouTube feed, because I don't ride a motorcycle. But I think it was just the beauty of going to Mount Rushmore, and they went to some other parks and things in the area. I want to say I think they drove by that real tall, what is it, that rock formation? What was that? Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I think, was the movie that it was in with the UFOs or whatever. The big rock thing out in the middle of like this desert area that it's gorgeous looking. So yeah, and that kind of got me to thinking I want to get back to going places and doing the photography like hubby and I used to do. I just don't want to do it by myself, but we're gonna take that one step at a time and see how it comes. I don't know. Maybe someday I get an opportunity. I'll take some of our pictures and maybe put them together in a video that you all could just watch. Not me rambling at all. Just maybe some soft music and some pictures of it, and share some of the photography. I know he managed to get some really beautiful pictures at a couple places that we went to, despite the fact that our camera was not high quality. But yeah, maybe I'll try to put that together and share with you at some point. So there's that. Then there is a pocket on the inside back cover that you could drop papers or things in. If you're taking your planner to appointments, you could definitely consider putting those in. And of course, there is the little, you probably saw in the pictures, the binder strap that keeps it closed. And there is the pen holder. And there are the two ribbons that are inside. Yeah. I love these planners. They are so beautiful. I know not every planner is perfect, because we're all different. We all have our own preferences, our own likes, our own things that we need to work with. But as far as one that's already pre-designed and you don't have to, basically you just, buy it and use it. Okay. Versus some of the other, planners that you can put together, which I don't know. Someday I might try to take some of those and put some video together on those, because if this option doesn't suit you, maybe something that I have used in the past might suit you. But as far as one that you buy, it's all ready to go. The minute you unbox it, and it's pre-designed. I really like it. I just think they're beautiful. The artwork is beautiful. And of course, they have a variety of artwork on the website. So like this one that I'm holding in my hand is is it the rose gold or the cream? I'm not sure. But it has the astrological signs on it. So, that kind of goes fitting with my interests. And then, let me see. The other one that I have, which is the rose gold one that I took back and forth with me when I was traveling, has like a dream catcher on it, and like the feathers, and it just kind of reminds me. I have a dream catcher hanging up in my room right now, so it kind of reminds me of that. And I'll tell you, for traveling as much as it did, thousands of miles back and forth here and there, and I got Post-it notes in it and everything, it has really held up really well. I actually, let's see I want to see, where did I start this one at? I started this one in October. Actually the end of September. So I must have taken this one and started it either right before he passed away, or very shortly thereafter. Um, I can't tell from some of the things that I have wrote in it. I may have started it. I may have wanted to start it in the month of October, and yeah, I didn't. My month of October that year in 2021 didn't start out the way that it was supposed to. Whoops. Um, but yeah, like I said, it has held up. That one has held up really well, and I know it has traveled so many miles. The purple one that I have is a beautiful shade of purple. It's the astrological one as well. And let me look at that one. Oh, okay, the calendar in that one started with 2021 and went to 2024. So I am, can I tell? July. I started this one in July of 2021. So this, I think this was, I think this is the one that I had started for work at that time, because that number there is definitely something work related. So, yeah. And I can tell from the writing and stuff in it that it's a much happier type of planner. It's the one that I took the pictures of was a Monday start. This one's a Sunday start. So, but basically, even though it's a different color and it's a Sunday start, from what I can tell, just flipping through the pages real quick, it's pretty much. It might be a little bit different color-wise, but doesn't look like it's too much different. But I am curious. That page looks a little bit different. I think it's just the colors, though. But anyhow, I am curious. I have that one that is still boxed and sealed. I haven't opened it up yet, so I'm really curious to open it up and see exactly what it looks like inside. Because for some reason, I'm kind of thinking I had ordered something different than that. I showed here in the video, but I am not sure. My memory's kind of hazy back then. But hopefully I can get something set up where I can actually do a video where the video and the audio go together and you can hear it. Of a unboxing, if you will, might be fun to do. So yeah. That is basically the end of the planner tour. Okay, so we're taking a real quick look at the actual freedommastery.com, their website. Excuse me. So this is their actual website. If you order over $58 in product, you get free shipping. So you get the home page, you have the shop page, you have the About Us page, and then you have the information fact pages. And they'll just, take care of any questions or things that you want to take a look at. Do you ship outside of the USA? Yes, they do, except for the Virgin Islands, Guam, and Puerto Rico. We also prefer not to ship to P.O. Box addresses. We are not responsible for any VAT or custom duty that may apply in your country. Every country has different tax rules and they constantly change. And they do. Which is beyond our control. It's your responsibility to check your country's tax rules before making purchases online. International delivery normally takes 7 to 20 working days, but due to customs clearance or inadequate postal logistics systems, your package may be delayed, which is beyond our control. Anybody who's worked any kind of shipping is very well familiar with all of that craziness. It really... sometimes the shipping thing doesn't make rhyme or reason. You can be shipping something very simple, like a planner is a very simple item to me. But yeah, I've done enough shipping to know it can get crazy. So if you're definitely wanting to get, I would say if you're wanting to get a dated one, and you want it for a particular start date, give yourself, try to order it at least a month ahead of time. That's why I like the undated planners, because you just never know with shipping what's going to happen. That's why I like the undated ones. But it's up to you. So they don't have any information here on the 2024 planners yet, but that's okay. So here it's just why I created the planner. Number 1 in life planners. Oh, okay. Worldwide shipping, fast results, follow us, blah, 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 blah. Help and questions, support, all of that. Come on, shop. So as you can tell when you go through here, they have lots of beautiful colors. I want this magnetic dry erase calendar, but they're sold out of it. But I would love to have that because I think dry erase helps us on the grieving journey because, sometimes our minds just aren't doing what we want them to do. So I think this would be a very handy thing to keep on the refrigerator. I have a smaller one, but I have to fill everything out myself. I would prefer a monthly format like this, so maybe when it's back in stock, I will get one. As you can tell, 2023 stuff is marked down a little bit. So we have a soft turquoise, which is beautiful. So they have the Lotus Woman. They have the tree with rose. I guess that would be like, what do they call it? The tree of life. A soft turquoise tree, but that's USA only. So no matter what country you're from, do pay attention to that. The astrology. Oh, that's beautiful. That blue is just gorgeous. And you can see the gold running down along the sides. I mean, whoops. That's so pretty. Oh, isn't that one pretty? That's called Moonflower. Violet Crescent, that's a USA only. The Violet Crescent, I cannot talk. I think that's beautiful. It looks like a softer violet than the purple one that I have. So obviously, as you can tell, the Undated, so Undated Sunday starts, the rose gold, okay, the purple astrology, the vanilla tree, that's pretty, aww, the vanilla butterfly moon, that is so pretty, oh, I would love that, the soft turquoise lotus woman, the black crescent moon, that's pretty too. I love the crescent moons. So as you can tell, there's all kinds of different colors and designers. So guys and gals, there's something in here, a design for you, no matter what your preference. Whoops. The black eclipse, black sunshine, the black hourglass, astrology, a yellow lion. Okay. Oh, look, those come in a black box. That's the white box like what I have. Yeah, so they have all kinds of beautiful colors and designs that would, I'm sure you would find something that would resonate with you. So yeah, that's freedommastery.com. I want to say I'm almost positive Amazon has some. I don't have my Amazon bookmarked on this particular browser and user ID, or I would bop over there real quick. But I'm pretty sure they still have them. So yeah. That's their website, freedommastery.com. Just remember, they're not sponsoring this video. They have no idea that I'm doing this video. I haven't spoken to them. I'm not getting any kind of benefit or, whatever. It's just the fact that I love their planners. I love the paper. I love how it's pretty much it's designed pretty well. I just love the product. So I figured I was definitely going to share it with you because of the different law of attraction items that are in there. That was kind of my thinking, was it could kind of help us on our grief journey. So yeah, not sponsored or anything. I'm just giving them free advertisement. As always, I want to thank you so much for joining me for today's video. While we took a couple of moments and explored the Freedom Mastery Law of Attraction Planners. I am sorry that I could not get the video portion on my camera to work and do the audio, and that we had to do it by picture only. I do apologize. Like I said, I hope I can resolve that issue and we can do a proper look at the one that I have not opened up yet. So fingers crossed we can get that done. I hope that you found this look at their planners helpful and inspiring as you continue your own grief journey and you're looking for ways to keep yourself on track and eliminating some of the stress while we try to plan and schedule in our life during this challenging time. If you found this content helpful, please be sure to like and share the video. Please subscribe to the channel so that you'll know when new content is available. And remember, your subscribing and sharing and liking the videos help to get my channel to grow, as well as my mission to grow. As always, please feel free to comment on any of my videos. I would love to hear from you. Please let me know if there is any topic that you'd like me to research and cover. I would be honored to do that for you. Don't forget to participate in the polls that I've created. They can be found under the community tab. Your interaction there will help the channel to grow and will help me in creating future content. So for now, we're going to try to wrap this video up and get it all edited so that I can get it posted. For me, I'm wrapping up the weekend, and I've got a ton of things that I need to do tomorrow morning before the heat gets too overwhelming. So by the time that you see this video, it will be early in the week, but I hope that you had as good a weekend as possible, and I hope this week going forward brings you I hope it's easy for you. I hope it's less stressful. I hope that you can find some positivity and inspiration and joy. I will keep you all in my thoughts as we navigate this particular week. So all that being said, I've been Sissy, and I am wishing you much hope, light, and love. And I will see you in the next one, my friend. Take care.